Okay, so before we get started, I want you to imagine something. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, you find yourself staring at the ceiling and your mind won't be quiet. You're replaying that conversation you had earlier. You're stressing about tomorrow's deadlines. You're worrying about money. You're thinking about that girl or guy. You're feeling guilty about that sin you fell into again. So you tell yourself to relax, to think positive thoughts, to trust in God. But 5 minutes later, you're right back in that spiral. The sad thing is, a lot of you don't have to imagine that. It's your reality. Anxiety among people is at an all-time high right now. We're the most connected generation in history, but somehow the most anxious. We have access to endless information, podcasts, self-help content, but we still can't seem to find peace. And honestly, we're trying everything except the one thing that actually works. We go harder in the gym. We scroll through Instagram to distract ourselves. We binge Netflix. We make another to-do list thinking if we just organize our life a little bit better, the anxiety will disappear. But guess what? It doesn't work. And here's what's crazy. Jesus talked about anxiety more than any other topic. He knew that this would be a major struggle for us, and he actually gave us a solution that doesn't take that long at all. The problem is, it's the exact opposite of what society tells us to do. This story I want to share with you today actually changed how I handle anxiety forever. So there was a woman named Martha who invited Jesus into her home. The actual Son of God was sitting in her living room teaching. Her sister Mary sat at Jesus' feet listening to every word that he said. Meanwhile, Martha was in the kitchen losing her mind. She was stressed out about dinner. She was running around trying to make everything perfect. And she was getting frustrated because her sister wasn't helping her. Finally, she snapped and she started complaining to Jesus about it. And here's what Jesus' response was. Luke 10 verses 41 and 42. Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better. Paint this picture in your head for a second. Martha had the creator of the universe sitting in her house, and she was too anxious about dinner to sit with him. But before we judge her and laugh, let's be honest, we do the exact same thing. We have access to God at any moment. We can pray. We can read his word, we can sit in his presence, but we're so busy with our to-do list that we never spend time with him. So here's how most of us try to handle the stress and anxiety of life. We stay busy, we work harder, we try to control everything, we distract ourselves with whatever's closest, our phone, food, video games, social media, and when that doesn't work, we feel even worse because now we're anxious and we've wasted 3 hours scrolling. I myself have been in this situation too many times. But here's what I've learned. Anxiety isn't a problem that you solve by doing more. It's solved by sitting with the one who can actually calm the storm. Let me paint you a full picture of what happened to Martha. She invited Jesus into her home. This alone should have been the highlight of her day. But instead of sitting with him, she got distracted by all the preparations. She was worried about the food. She was worried about the hosting. She was worried about making sure everything was perfect. But her sister Mary, she just sat at his feet and listened to him. Martha got so frustrated that she actually called Jesus out. She says in Luke 10 verse 40, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her to help me. And Jesus couldn't have thought of a better response. He says in Luke 10 verses 41 and 42, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, which basically translates to you're stressing out about stuff that doesn't even matter. The one thing that matters is sitting right in front of you and you're missing it. This is the moment that changed everything for me. Your anxiety comes from trying to control what only God can control. You're worried about tomorrow. You're stressing out about things that haven't even happened yet. You're carrying burdens that God never asked you to carry. Jesus tells us in Matthew 6 verse 34, therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. And a few verses earlier in chapter 6 verse 27, he asks us a question that cuts right through our anxiety. He says, can any one of you by worrying add a single hour to your life? The answer is no. Worrying doesn't change anything. It actually just steals away your peace. And the solution isn't to work harder or be more productive. The solution is to do what Mary did. Sit at the feet of Jesus. Let me give you an example. A couple months ago, I was completely overwhelmed. I'm talking financial pressures, housing situations, relationship issues, and spiritual battles. All of it hitting me at once, and I would walk through the entire day anxious. My routine looked like this. Upon waking up, I would grab my phone. I would check my email to see what problems I had lined up for the day. I would try to numb it with social media. I would make my coffee while mentally running through all of the things I had to do that day. And looking back on it now, I never once stopped and paused to acknowledge God. And then I started feeling guilty about that, which made the anxiety even worse. Sounds like a fun cycle, right? But when I started practicing what I'm about to share with you today, everything changed. I'm not saying my problems disappeared completely. I'm saying I found peace in the middle of the chaos. My anxiety stopped controlling me. I started hearing God more clearly. My decision making got better. My spiritual life went from inconsistent to very, very strong. And it all came down to one practice that takes less than 10 minutes. It's the biblical method of choosing devotion over distraction, of doing what Mary did instead of what Martha did. And it works because it's not about you trying harder. It's about you sitting with the one who holds everything together. Colossians 1:17 reminds us, he is before all things, and in him all things hold together. So here's how to sit at the feet of Jesus even when life feels chaotic. Psalm 46 26:10 tells us, "Be still and know that I am God." Super simple command, but nearly impossible to follow in 2026. We never sit still. Our minds are always racing. We're always doing something, checking something, or worrying about something. But the truth is, this isn't about adding another thing to your to-do list. This is about the one thing that makes everything else work. When anxiety hits you, you have two choices. You can spiral in distraction, or you can anchor in devotion. Martha chose distraction, Mary chose devotion. Here's how to make the right choice in less than 10 minutes. First step, the 60-second pause that changes everything. All right, so the moment that you feel anxiety rising, stop. Like actually, stop what you're doing. Don't grab your phone, don't try to fix it, don't start making a new plan. Just stop and acknowledge him. Out loud or in your mind, say, "Jesus, I need you right now." That's it. That's the first step. And here's why it works. Anxiety is like a wave. You can't stop the wave from coming, but you can choose where you stand. If you're standing on a rock, which is Jesus in this case, the wave won't knock you over. But if you're trying to stand on your own strength, your own plans, and your own control, you're gonna get wiped out every time. Proverbs 3 verses 5 and 6 tells us exactly what to do. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your path straight. Focus on the part where it says not to lean on your own understanding. Don't lean on your own plans. Don't rely on your own ability to figure everything out. Before you even open your Bible or start praying, just acknowledge his presence first. Say, "God, I'm stressed out about this test coming up. I'm choosing to sit with you instead of spinning out of control. Jesus, I'm anxious about this conversation I need to have. I need your peace right now. Lord, I don't know what to do about this situation, but I'm giving it to you." It's not supposed to be a perfectly worded prayer and all fancy. It's supposed to be honest and raw. And this is the first step in breaking the anxiety cycle before it starts. Next, quality over quantity. So here's where a lot of people mess up. They think spending time with God means sitting down for 3 hours and reading through all Paul's letters. They think it means praying for an hour and then journaling for another 30 minutes. And then after that, you have to listen to worship music for another hour. And when they realize that they don't have the time to do all that, they end up doing nothing instead. So here's a little secret from the story of Mary and Martha. Mary didn't try to memorize everything Jesus said. She just listened closely to what he was saying in the moment. When you're anxious, don't try and push yourself to read for a whole hour. Start with 1 or 2 verses. That's it. 1 or 2 verses that speak directly to your anxiety. Read it slowly. Repeat it 3, 4, 5 times if you have to. Let it actually sink into your heart. Some of my go-to verses are Philippians 4 verses 6 and 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Matthew 11:28, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Psalm 55:22, cast your cares on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken. 1 Peter 5:7, cast all your anxiety onto him because he cares for you. Those are just a couple, but pick one for yourself and read it slowly. Let God speak to you through that verse. And don't rush anything because you have time. And remember what Hebrews 4 verse 12 tells us. For the word of God is alive and active, sharper than any double-edged sword. It penetrates even to dividing soul and spirit, joints and marrow. It judges the thoughts and attitudes of the heart. One verse from God's living word can cut through all the noise in your head and bring you clarity. Next step, stop performing, start connecting. So a lot of people don't pray because they think they need to sound like a pastor. They think prayer needs to be eloquent and it needs to be structured and it needs to be full of these and thous. So they end up just not praying at all. But here's another truth from the story. Jesus didn't want Martha's perfect dinner she was preparing. He wanted her presence. God doesn't want your polished prayers. He wants your honest heart. Talk to God like he's sitting across from you at a coffee shop. Tell him exactly what you're anxious about. Don't dress it up or be fake, but of course keep it respectful. Say to him, God, I'm scared I'm gonna fail at this. I have no idea what to do. I need your wisdom and your peace. Jesus, I keep falling into this same sin and I feel like a failure. I need your strength because clearly mine's not enough. Lord, I'm worried about money right now. I'm worried about my future. I'm trying to trust in you, but I'm struggling. Please help me. That's real, honest, raw prayer. And guess what? God already knows what you're thinking about anyway. You're not telling him anything he doesn't already know, but he wants you to talk to him about it because that's the definition of a relationship. 1 Peter 5:7 says, cast all your anxiety onto him because he cares for you. All of your anxiety, not just the stuff that you think he wants to hear or that sounds spiritual. Give him everything. He cares about it because he cares about you. So this next step might be the hardest, but the most powerful. After you pray, I want you to do one thing. Sit in complete silence for at least 60 seconds. No music, no phone, no distraction. Just be still. This is the hardest part for most people. Our brains hate silence. We feel awkward and we want to start filling that space up with something. But this is where you learn to hear God's voice instead of just talking to him. Mary sat at Jesus' feet and listened. She didn't do the talking, and neither should we. So set a timer for a minute if you have to. Close your eyes, breathe, and listen. You might not hear an audible voice, and that's okay because most people don't. But I promise you, you'll feel peace wash over you. You'll receive clarity on what to do next. You'll feel that gentle prompting in your spirit. You'll get a reminder of a Bible verse. You'll get a sense that everything's gonna be okay. That's God speaking. John 10:27 says, my sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me. You can hear his voice, but you have to be still enough to listen. And you'll miss it if you never sit still long enough to tune everything else out. Last step is capture the moment. So after you're done sitting in silence, write down one thing God showed you. Open your notes app, grab a journal, whatever works. Write 1 to 2 sentences about what you felt, about what you sensed or heard from God in those couple minutes. Why does this matter in the first place? When anxiety comes back, which it will, you'll have a record of God's faithfulness. The Israelites built altars to remember what God did for them. Your journal is your altar. Over time, you'll build up a collection of moments where God met you in your anxiety. And when the next wave hits you, you can look back and remember, he's never let me down before, and he's not going to start now. Psalm 77, 11 and 12 tell us, I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your miracles of long ago. I will consider all your works and meditate on all your mighty deeds. So remember what God has done. Write it down, make it plain, and look back on it when you need to. And that's it. That's the 5-minute practice. Just to recap, stop everything and acknowledge him. Read 1 or 2 verses very slowly. Pray like you're talking to a friend. Sit in silence for at least 60 seconds and write down what God showed you. These 5 minutes alone will change your entire day. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and say that this is going to make all your problems disappear. Life is still going to be hard and challenges are still going to show up, but that's okay because now you'll have peace in the middle of the storm. You'll hear God's voice more clearly. You'll make better decisions. You'll stop being controlled by anxiety and you'll start being anchored in his presence. The trials that you're facing right now, they were never meant to destroy you. They're meant to strengthen your faith, to build perseverance, to produce good character, and to give you hope. This is one of the main reasons why God allows us to suffer sometimes. It's because it allows us to sit in his presence and build a relationship with him. James 1 verses 2 through 4 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." Romans 8:18, my favorite verse in the Bible, tells us, "I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us." The battles that you and I are going through today, they're nothing compared to what God has planned for us in the future, both here on earth and in eternity with him in heaven. So don't give up. Don't listen to the lies that tell you God's not there or he doesn't care about you. Deuteronomy 31 verse 8 promises, "The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged." So choose devotion over distraction. Sit at the feet of Jesus just like Mary did. And watch what happens when you stop trying to control everything yourself and you put your trust in the one who controls it all. That's going to wrap this video up. A pretty short one today, but I know it'll help a lot of people. Make sure to like the video, subscribe for more, and drop in the comments what you thought. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for making it to the end. God bless all of you, and I'll see you in the next one.